6 million years. That's how long the Colorado River has been carving the Grand Canyon, stretching more than 446 kilometers across northern Arizona and plunging nearly 1,800 meters at its deepest point. It remains one of the greatest natural wonders on Earth. Every year, millions of visitors stand at its edge. The opposite rim looks surprisingly close, yet reaching it can still take hours by road, which raises a simple question: why hasn't anyone built a bridge here? After all, humanity has crossed oceans with suspension bridges, drilled tunnels through mountains, and even constructed airports in the middle of the sea. Compared to those achievements, crossing a canyon shouldn't seem impossible, but the Grand Canyon is different. The real obstacle has never been the distance. It's the landscape itself. Towering cliffs leave almost no room for heavy construction equipment. The canyon walls have been eroding for millions of years, creating rock formations that are far more complex than they appear from above. Powerful updrafts surge through the canyon during the day, while cold air rushes back down after sunset. For engineers, the greatest threat isn't always gravity. Sometimes it's the wind. Building from the canyon floor isn't an option. There is no practical location for temporary support towers, no space for giant cranes, no construction roads capable of carrying thousands of tons of equipment, and even if those engineering challenges could somehow be solved, another one still remains. The Grand Canyon is one of America's most protected national parks. Every decision would have to minimize environmental impact. This bridge couldn't simply dominate the landscape. It would have to exist without destroying the very place that makes it extraordinary, which means the first challenge isn't building the bridge, it's figuring out how to build it at all. If trucks can't reach the canyon, then the construction site has to move into the sky. Long before the first tower is built, engineers would create an entirely temporary transportation network suspended above the canyon itself. It all begins with something surprisingly small: a lightweight pilot line, carried across by helicopter or heavy-lift drone. That single line would pull a stronger cable, then a heavier one, then another. Each cable becomes strong enough to install the next, until an aerial supply system stretches from one rim to the other. Only then can the real work begin. The bridge would never rise from the canyon floor. Instead, it would grow from both sides at the same time. Massive anchor blocks would be carved deep into solid rock, locking the future suspension cables directly into the canyon walls. Above them, two steel towers would slowly climb into the Arizona sky. Piece by piece, meter by meter, months of construction, just to prepare for the bridge that still doesn't exist. Then comes the most delicate operation of the entire project: spinning the main cables. Thousands of high-strength steel wires would cross the canyon one after another, each carefully tensioned before the next is added. From a distance, they would look like two elegant curves floating effortlessly above the landscape. In reality, those cables would contain enough steel to support thousands of tons. The impossible isn't held together by one giant cable. It's held together by tens of thousands of tiny wires working as one. Only after the cables are complete can the roadway begin to appear. Steel deck sections, assembled far from the canyon, would be lifted one by one into position. Slowly, patiently. The bridge wouldn't be built across the canyon, it would grow across it, from opposite sides, until one final connection transforms two unfinished structures into a single road. With the final deck section locked into place, the bridge is complete. But before a single vehicle is allowed to cross, the real test begins. Thousands of sensors would monitor every critical part of the structure. They measure stress, temperature, wind, vibration, even movements too small for the human eye to detect. Engineers would gradually apply enormous test loads, comparing real-world data against years of computer simulations. Every cable, every joint, every bolt, every weld must perform exactly as designed. Only after months of testing would the bridge finally open for most drivers. The journey across would last only a few minutes. Many would never realize what lies beneath their wheels, or how many years of planning made that moment possible. But this bridge was never just about crossing a canyon. It was about answering a question humanity has faced throughout history. What do we do when nature places an obstacle in our path? Again and again, our answer has never been to fight nature, but to understand it, to work with it, to adapt to it. Mountains became tunnels. Rivers became bridges. Oceans became shipping routes, not because the world became smaller, but because human imagination became larger. The Grand Canyon will continue to change long after every road has faded away. Its cliffs will keep eroding. The Colorado River will keep carving deeper into the earth. Nature's story will continue, with or without us. Perhaps that's the true purpose of engineering, not to rewrite nature's story, but to earn the privilege of becoming a small part of it, because the greatest engineering achievements are never measured by the amount of steel they contain, but by the respect they show for the world around them. The impossible was never the Grand Canyon. The impossible was believing it could never be crossed. Fade to black.